Have you ever been hurt by someone's words? Have you ever lost your peace just because of what others said or thought about you? What if I told you that there's a power so great, a power so simple, yet so profound, that it can protect your happiness, your peace, and even your soul? Today, I'll tell you a powerful story from the life of Gautama Buddha. A story that reveals the true power of ignoring others. And once you understand it, you'll never look at criticism, hate, or negative people the same way again. Let's begin. Long ago, in a peaceful forest near a small village, the Buddha was walking barefoot under the shade of tall trees. His disciples followed him silently, observing his every step, his every breath. The sun had just begun to rise, and the world was silent, except for the sounds of birds and leaves rustling in the breeze. As Buddha approached a clearing near the village, an angry man stood waiting. He had heard of Buddha's teachings, but he didn't like them. He didn't believe in peace. He believed in action, in revenge, in ego. And so, when the Buddha came near, the man shouted, "Man, you are misleading people. You teach them weakness. You talk of letting go, of ignoring insults, of being silent in the face of hatred. That's cowardice, not wisdom." Buddha stopped. He looked at the man, calm and composed. He didn't react. The man grew louder. "Man, say something. Are you deaf, or are you afraid to defend your lies?" But Buddha stood silently, like a still lake, unshaken by the wind. His disciples were shocked. Some clenched their fists. Others looked away, uncomfortable. But the Buddha, he remained like a mountain, calm, immovable. Finally, the Buddha looked at the man with soft eyes and said gently, "Buddha, tell me something. If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man was taken aback. "Man, what kind of question is that? Of course, if I don't accept the gift, it stays with the person who offered it." Buddha smiled. "Buddha, exactly. In the same way, I do not accept your anger, your insults, or your hate. They remain with you." The man was speechless. Buddha continued walking, leaving behind a man confused, humbled, and lost in thought. As the Buddha and his disciples entered the village, word spread quickly about the incident. People gathered around and began whispering, "Why didn't the Buddha respond? Was he afraid? Was he ignoring the truth?" One young man in the crowd couldn't hold back. He stepped forward and asked, "Young man, Master, why didn't you speak up more? Why didn't you correct him?" Buddha turned to the crowd and said, "Buddha, if someone pours dirty water into a clean river, does the river become dirty, or does it carry the dirt away?" The people looked at each other unsure. "Buddha, the river keeps flowing. It doesn't stop to fight. It doesn't hold on to the dirt. It simply lets it pass." Then he said something that touched every heart in that village. "Buddha, when you choose peace over ego, you win a battle without even fighting." That night, the disciples sat around Buddha under the starlit sky. One disciple asked, "Disciple, Master, how do we develop this strength, to ignore hatred, to not let people's words affect us?" Buddha smiled and replied, "Buddha, when a tree is deeply rooted in the earth, no storm can tear it down, but a shallow plant is easily pulled out." The disciple nodded, listening. "Buddha, if your mind is rooted in truth, in compassion, in understanding, then no insult, no anger, no jealousy from others can shake you. But if your mind is attached to praise and ego, then even the smallest criticism will hurt." He paused and added, "The next morning, as the sun rose once again, a familiar figure walked slowly toward Buddha. It was the angry man. But this time, he looked different. His shoulders were low, his eyes heavy. He bowed before Buddha and said, "Man, I have come to ask for forgiveness. Yesterday I insulted you. I shouted at you, but you didn't react. You didn't hate me back. I have never seen such strength." Buddha helped him up and said, "Buddha, you do not need to ask for forgiveness. The anger you gave, I never received." The man broke down. "Man, but why? Why didn't you respond? Why didn't you fight me?" Buddha replied with deep compassion, Buddha, because if I had responded with anger, I would have accepted your poison, and I choose not to poison my soul, for the sake of my peace and yours. The angry man became one of Buddha's disciples, and soon people across the region heard of this story. From kings to beggars, everyone spoke of the one who had the power to ignore hate, not with pride, but with wisdom. Buddha's words began to spread. Don't carry the weight of other people's opinions. You are not what others say about you. You are what you choose to be. Ignoring doesn't mean weakness. It means inner strength. Children learned to stay calm. Old men found peace in their hearts. And the world, for a while, felt a little lighter. In your life, people will speak, they will judge, they will blame. Some will misunderstand you. Some will insult you just to feel better about themselves. But remember what Buddha showed us. You are not a dustbin for other people's negativity. You have the power to ignore, not from arrogance, but from understanding. When you stop reacting, you start living. When you stop absorbing, you start growing. So the next time someone throws their words like knives, pause, breathe, and let the knife fall, because your peace is too precious to give away. If this story touched your heart, give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more life-changing stories from Buddha's teachings. Comment below. I choose peace over reaction. Let's build a world where silence is not weakness, but strength. Until next time, stay calm, stay kind, and keep walking the path of wisdom.